Hello and welcome to the VickyCharles.com podcast for those of us who need just a little help with our blogging and social media. The show notes for this and all previous podcasts can be found at VickyCharles.com/podcast. And at the moment I'm giving out free social media tips. Just go to VickyCharles.com/social-tips and fill in your details, and then I'll email you 3 personalised action points for your social media. You can also sign up there for my mailing list. This week's episode, number 56, is 7 reasons to use Facebook Live video. So let's get on with it. So welcome to episode number 56 of the VickyCharles.com podcast. This week's episode is 7 reasons to use Facebook Live video. Now, you may or may not have noticed, but last week Facebook rolled out the use of, or the ability to use live video, to stream live video to everybody, and not just on a page, but also on your personal profile, in a group, if the group admin allows it, and on an event page. So it's massive now that Facebook are really pushing it. They really want to be kind of kings of the live video. So it's something I think a lot of people are looking at the moment, so I thought I would give you some reasons that you should be looking at it too. I know I've been banging on about video and live video for a while now, and there's a reason for that. I think it is going to take over everything. So the first reason that you should be using Facebook Live video is to be an early adopter. It's only a week old, it's only just come in. Be one of the first people there doing it. I've said this before about Periscope. Be one of the first people there, and then by the time everybody else is kind of dipping their toes in the water to see what it's all about, you're already quite kind of proficient at it. You've already kind of got over the lumps and bumps and the hurdles and the where do I put my phone, and you know, how do I get good lighting, and should I wear this makeup, and so on. You've kind of ironed out all the kinks, and you're already kind of going with it while everybody else is there kind of holding their phone going so you kind of get a head start. My second reason to use Facebook Live video is Facebook is prioritising live video on the newsfeed right now. So if they want everyone to use it, they think, you know, they've finally launched it for everybody, and they want everybody to start using it. I don't know if you saw Mark Zuckerberg's video that he released, or he live streamed it when he first announced it. You can tell he's really excited about this, and he really wants it to be used in a major way. So his algorithms are showing that. If you do a live stream, if you live stream a video, people will be informed that Vicky is live streaming right now. And once your video is, while your video is in progress, you'll appear on the top of people's news feeds. But also later in the day, when your video stays on your timeline, it will show on other people's news feeds throughout the day. So it's a great way of kind of blowing up your Facebook page, making sure you get more reach and engagement by having that live element to it. The third reason to use Facebook Live video is just good practice for speaking. If you've got any sort of a speaking gig coming up, or you want to start doing a speaking gig, it's really great because, you know, there's one thing, me sitting here, I won't even tell you what I'm facing while I'm kind of recording this podcast, but, you know, it's one thing for me to sit here facing a wall with a microphone in my hand doing a podcast, but to do a live video, you know that there are people watching and there are people kind of inspecting your face. You're faced with your own face on the screen, which is quite off-putting the first few million times you do it. But it's good practice to know that there are people listening right now, so you can't go back and edit anything you've said. And that's really good for live video, for doing live speaking gigs. Because obviously when you're kind of on a stage in front of people, if you just say the wrong thing, you can't then go, hang on, we'll edit that bit out, carry on. You have to crack on, you have to recover from it. If you stumble over your words, you have to recover from that. And live video is a really great way of practicing that, so that you're kind of really slick when it comes to doing any sort of speaking. Reason number 4 to use Facebook Live video is it's the best way to build up what they call know, like, trust. So people buy from people. They don't buy things. That I know. I could probably name more than 10-15 people on my Facebook friends list who are in some form of network marketing. If I want to buy a new unique mascara, there are at least 5 people I can go to. So who am I going to choose? I'm going to choose a person I like, but not just for network marketing, for anything. People buy into things based on whether they feel like they know you, whether they like you, and whether they feel like they can trust you. When you're on live video, there's nowhere to hide, and although that sounds scary, it is also, it's quite exhilarating, but it's also brilliant because it means that people can kind of meet you without actually kind of meeting you face to face and get to know you. There's really nowhere to hide. They can look you in the eye, they can see if they like you, and then they can either click away and you are never going to get any business from them anyway, or they'll hang around and they'll kind of buy into that and buy into who you are and what you're doing. which is, much quicker than the old processes where we would kind of, you might, send out emails. You might have to try and get people to sign up to an email list, send them out emails and hope that they might one day want to buy something from you. You're kind of shortening that process so that, you're still sending out emails and whatever else, but they're kind of looking you in the eye and they can see you and they can tell if they like you, and you're building that connection much more quickly, and you're definitely, you appear more human in that way. The fifth reason that you should be using Facebook Live video is that you can reach out to people in real time. You can have a real-time conversation with them, just like with Periscope. On Facebook, people can make comments on the bottom of the screen, and you can see that and respond to it as you're going. So if people are saying, oh, hang on, I didn't quite get that, can you explain that again? You can explain it again and make sure you're being 100% clear on what you're talking about. You can respond to people's comments and maybe take you off on a tangent. Oh, can you tell me how this relates to this other thing you were talking about yesterday? Can you explain this part to me? What about this part? Can I get it in red? Can I do that? You can really go into detail with it, but more importantly, they know it's definitely you. If you comment on a celebrity's Facebook page, it's mostly not them that's going to reply to you. It's going to be somebody replying for them. Same with big corporations, big companies. They've got somebody running their Instagram. They've got somebody running their Twitter. And you can never be 100% sure it's them. Even if you email somebody, you'd never know that it's them responding. And if they've done a video that they've popped up on YouTube or posted to Facebook, they could have edited that to be within an inch of its life. They could have edited out all sorts of things. They could have edited out the fact that somebody else was giving them a line to read every couple of minutes. You never know. With live video, they might have somebody, off camera, but you can see if they're talking to them. You can see if they're getting fed lines from somebody. You can see if they're kind of fluent in what they're saying, if they know what they're talking about, or if they're reading from notes. I read somewhere somebody said, I won't buy anything from somebody who's reading from notes, because they clearly don't know what they're talking about. You should know it well enough to not read from notes and just need a couple of prompts. And when you're watching somebody on live video, you can see what they're doing. And if they're kind of stilted and you can tell they're reading from notes or reading a script, it kind of, it doesn't feel so genuine. You can tell that quite easily. But also you can prove that, I do know what I'm talking about. Ask me any question you want. I'm happy to answer you. Crack on. And that's a really, really great bonus for anybody who's wanting to sell anything or, just improve their public persona, I suppose, or their, their online presence, I guess. The sixth reason that you should be using Facebook Live video is, well, come on now. Do you really think that you know better than Mark Zuckerberg about these things? This is the way that social media and the internet in general is going. Facebook have live video now. YouTube have had live streaming for a while. Periscope, which is owned by Twitter. Meerkat is kind of faded into insignificance now, but it's still there. They're all doing live video. This is where it's going. And you can either kind of join in and learn how to do live video, get over your fears and crack on with it. Or you can, be one of those people that, I always go to networking meetings and meet people who say, well, I don't need Facebook. I don't need Twitter. You can be one of those in 2 years' time saying, well, no, I don't need live video while everybody else is using it. Get ahead of the curve and just crack on with it. What's the worst that can happen? Since Facebook first started to roll out live streaming last year, when it was really only available to celebrities, and they've slowly started to roll it out to more people, people have created more than 670,000 live streams, and they've received over 8.5 billion views. Every day, 1 million people watch online video. Every single day, 1 million people. So you really want to be a part of that. If you've got anything that you're trying to sell, it's like if you were kind of going, if everyone was going, TV advertising, and you're going, no, I'm just going to stick with, advertising in the parish magazine that has a circulation of 2. That'll do me. I don't need anything else. Live video is where it's going, and you either kind of jump on the train or you get left behind. The seventh reason that you should be using Facebook Live video is to create excitement. It's still really new. There's still a buzz about it. People are still kind of, oh, that person's going live. I'll see what they're doing. There's kind of that feeling about it that, in 6 months' time, if you go, I know, I finally plucked up the courage and I'm going to do live video, there'll be no excitement. Nobody will care. But right now, when you start doing live video, everybody goes, oh my gosh, let's go and see, let's see what she's got to say. Let's see what her living room looks like. Let's see how she fares under pressure, whatever. People will come and see for that. If you think about when there've been live, let me think, ER. Do you remember when there was a live broadcast of ER? And so many more people watched it because they were just, mostly they were just waiting to see if anybody fluffed up their lines. When EastEnders went live last year, I think, with the whole that girl that died and all that bit. I don't watch soaps, but when that story went live, I watched it and I didn't even know who it was that had died. you watch it because it just creates this excitement and you want to be a part of it and you want to know what's going on. So, get involved in that and create some excitement around your product, your brand, your business, your blog, whatever, while there's still a buzz to be had. Attract some of it to yourself. So those are my 7 reasons to use Facebook Live Video. If you've already used Facebook Live Video, do please drop me a link to it. Leave me a link on my Facebook page, which is vickycharles.com, and I'll come and have a watch. I can't say that I can give you any sort of critique about it, but I'm just quite nosy, and I'm really into live video at the moment, so I'd love to see. Thank you so much for listening to the vickycharles.com podcast. The show notes for this and all previous podcasts can be found at vickycharles.com/podcast. And don't forget that at the moment I'm giving out free social media tips. So if you go to vickycharles.com/social-tips and fill in your details, I will email you 3 personalised action points for your social media. You can also tick the box on that form and join my mailing list, where you will be sent a free download of social media tips. And you'll be on my mailing list, so you'll get loads of cool stuff sent to you. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back next week.